You don't say the word Lusso, you utter it with some reverence. That's how important this nomenclature is in the Ferrari canon. I mean, McQueen drove one, for crying out loud. And now we have a new Lusso. You may say that's an FF, but Ferrari will say no. It's been so heavily revamped, it's an all-new car. GTC4Lusso, clearly on the same overall lines and platform as the outgoing FF, which was a very interesting all-purpose vehicle for them. Now, they maintain that overall seating, rear hatch, all-wheel drive configuration, but for the first time, the rear-wheel steering and the highly sophisticated all-wheel drive all talk to each other, doubling down on the car's prowess in unusual conditions and surfaces. Yes, that body shape's very familiar. One easy spotter's trick, the 3 louvered cutout on the fender. It allows air pressure to bleed out from under the front of the car, as well as heat from the engine bay to exit as well. The pulsing, quivering heart of the beast, 6.3-liter V12, breathed on rather substantially. Higher compression ratio is where it all starts, 13.5 to 1. If you don't know much about compression ratios, that is high strung. They're really compressing the hell out of that charge before they light it off. The result is 30 more horsepower, 681 now, and 514 pound-feet of torque is 10 more pound-feet. Notably, 80% of that is delivered down low at 1750 RPM. Take a look at those beautiful exhaust runners coming off the exhaust ports as well. Every one of them is exactly the same length by the time they get to the collector and join. That's not trivia, that's important, because that allows them to do wonderful tuning that you can't do when those runners are unequal. And of course, Ferraris have always had flat-plane cranks. That's also key to that Ferrari sound. All-wheel drive, but now for the first time the all-wheel drive talks to the rear-wheel steering system, a substantial innovation for a car that's all about agility under any conditions. Now here in the cabin, I can't tell you how happy I am with what they've done with the infotainment interface. First of all, this is completely different. This used to be a pretty lousy Chrysler parts bin head unit. Now it's something completely bespoke and fantastic. 10.25 inch, widescreen, HD, very extreme horizontal orientation with good touch response. On the right is a partner screen that is integrated with this one. That's not just a readout. The passenger can be a true active co-pilot. They can select music, obviously. They can also select destinations to add as a waypoint without ever touching this. That's an entire subsystem on the right that feeds into this one, that also feeds into my LCD on the right of my TAC over here in the IP. This truly is dual cockpit logic with collaboration on the driving and navigation task to a significant degree. Very cool. We have the now modern language of the Ferrari IP with your 2 configurable LCDs on either side of the TAC, and they've put a smaller airbag in the wheel, which really thins out the amount of bulk here to give you much better view of that beautiful IP. Why hide it? It goes so far as to let the passenger monitor the vehicle dynamic settings, though no, they can't change them. You can even split the screen and do about a 2/3, 1/3, depending what you want to look at more or a little less. So the Lusso now remains the luxury, all-wheel drive, agility, and performance model in the Ferrari line. It brings more together than any other car in their lineup, and we'll let you know as soon as we get our hands on it how well it marries all that.